Hey, what's going on, guys? Goose here, man. And I'm coming back at you with a video, and this is gonna be about the Saints. It's been a long time since I made the Saints video. Probably when they lost to the Vikings was the last time I made a Saints video. Just hasn't been much to talk about with the Saints. Just because there's no preseason game was supposed to start this past week, Friday. We're supposed to have our first preseason game, and of course that didn't happen. Usually training camp is open to the public. That didn't happen. So we had really not much to talk about with the Saints. But padded practices have started. Reports have started coming in about those things, and I'm gonna go over some stuff here about the Saints. But first is Andreas Pete. Andreas Pete broke his thumb, so he's gonna be out 2 to 4 weeks. So he go 4 weeks. First game is the 13th of September. So maybe he'll be back for the season opener. But it's kind of, I guess, ironic kind of a way because he's the guy that missed the block last year when Drew Brees broke his thumb. So I mean, that's like what they call it, poetic justice. But anyway, you don't want to see a player go down because it hurts your depth and all that. But it's not during the season. He should be 2 to 4 weeks. Um, Hopefully he's back for the first game against Tampa Bay. So let's go over some stuff here. As they said that Emmanuel Sanders is making his presence noticeable in the Saints camp. Of course, that's one guy that the Saints went out and got this past offseason because they've been needing a number two receiver to go on with Michael Thomas. They just haven't had it. I think they were hoping that some players would step up, but Ted Ginn is up there in age. Can't expect him to do it. But Emmanuel Butler or Kirkwood, I mean, it just. I think the Saints were really hoping that somebody would step up and be the number two receiver. It didn't happen, so now they had to go out and get one, which I thought was a good signing for them. But yeah, I mean everything that's they say is that Emmanuel Sanders is impressing in camp, and Drew Brees says he's a pro. Drew Brees says, I think that's what you recognize with those veteran receivers. I recognized it with Ted Ginn when he came in here 3 years ago. They're just a veteran presence and a mature nature. That's just the way he goes about his work, his business, his preparation, his attention to detail. A lot of other things that begin to pop up, and you realize why he's been able to play at such a high level for such a long time. So that's good that the Saints went out and got him. Like I said, the Saints they need number two receiver um, to go on with Michael Thomas. So let's see. What's some other stuff I wanted to go over? Let's see. This is Monday. So 5 great quotes from Monday. Is Drew Brees says why his interceptions have decreased the past few seasons. It's it's been that fine line between playing so confident and aggressive that you know that when you can take the chance or not take the chance, right? It's how to be calculated, how throw a high percentage throw. So and blah, blah, blah. So here we go. Michael Breeze on Michael Thomas wanting to break his own single season receptions record. I think that just goes to show you where his head is at this level of preparation, intensity, expectation level, and just how he approaches each and every day and every game. There's always a place. I'm sorry. There's always a place where Mike is going to create some separation or give you a place where you can throw the football and where he can go get it and other guy can't. I think he's one of the most elite receivers, number ones that have had that mentality. I mean, I'm never covered. I'm always going to be open. Hey, look, when you're number one receiver, you should have that mentality. Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin. Uh, you go on and on throughout the history of outstanding receivers, Hall of Fame receivers. They always had the mentality where that they're going to get open, and guess what? They get open. I mean, Jerry Rice was always seemed like he was always open for San Francisco. Michael Irvin was the same way with Dallas. It's like those guys. I mean, you know what you see their number, you know who they are, but they were always open. So this is another quote from defensive end Cameron Jordan on the defensive line. It's not about me being the best that I can be. It's about me being the best that I can be, being able to push Sheldon Rankins to be the best that he can be, Sheldon being the best that he can be, being able to push me and Marcus Davenport to be the best that we can be. It comes full circle. So it's just not about how I feel, even though I do feel great, as my hair will tell you. But it's about our defensive line as being as great as it can be, pushing our defense to be the best as it can be. Yeah, Saints gonna have to have a good defense next year. If they want to achieve what they've been trying to achieve the past several years, which is get to a Super Bowl, which just hasn't worked out. So another quote by this is Sean Payton on quarterback Jameis Winston, who's going to probably be backup quarterback for the Saints. He's doing well. I've been pleased. He's in great shape. He's a real live arm man. I love his attitude, his work ethic. He's doing very, very well. You're hearing all these reports about Jameis Winston from camp, as he's doing well. He's just being a very good teammate. He's a he did do. I know he threw 30 interceptions last year. He did throw 30 touchdown passes, which is actually pretty good. But yeah, he's immature at times, but we're banking on him being a backup quarterback, not the starter. All right, so let's see, and there's some other stuff I wanted to go over here. Let me pull this stuff up. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. Here goes. There's one. The 6 Saints players that are earning rave reviews at training camp. One is defensive back P.J. Williams, as he produced a pair of takeaways in Monday's practice, forcing a fumble out of backup running back Dwayne Washington, and intercepting a too high pass that was tipped off rookie wideout Jawan Johnson's hands. So P.J. Williams, I have read about how he's done well in camp, hopefully he's one guy that's gonna have to step up next year, and you can't just do it in practice. You gotta do it in the game on a game, and he hasn't done that consistently on a consistent basis. Here's another guy that's we heard if Saints fans, you know all about Emmanuel Butler last year in camp. That's all we heard about was Emmanuel Butler. Emmanuel Butler's going to be this. He's impressing in camp. He goes and plays a game, and he's unheard of. He can't do anything. But supposedly he's getting rave reviews in camp again, just like last year. So I'll believe it when I see it on Sundays. If Emmanuel Butler can, but we're not banking on him being a 2 receiver this year. We're banking on him being maybe a 3 or 4. So maybe that will kind of help him out, because it's not going to put all the pressure on him being a number 2 receiver. Maybe he'll be better suited being a 3 or 4 receiver. And then Janoris Jenkins, the Jackrabbit. Of course, the Jackrabbit came over in a trade last year with the Giants, and the Saints had restructured him in the offseason. Definitely had to restructure him in the offseason, because we weren't going to pay him like $10, $11, $12 million. Just wasn't gonna work out cap wise. For one, we weren't gonna be able to afford it. For one, and 2, I just don't think he's worth that much. But his best moment was he knocked down a screen pass from Taysom Hill, targeting Alvin Kamara. Janoris Jenkins. Him and Marshawn Lattimore. They've got to lock down the 2 receivers on Sundays, because the first game of the year we got to face Tampa Bay. So they got Mike Evans and Godwin for Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay has 2 outstanding receivers week 1. So Saints defense is going to have to be on par in week number 1. And then Cameron Jordan. It goes without saying he's one of the best players on the team. But he stood out the most in Monday's practice. He blew up the first play run by Drew Brees in team drills, crashing through the offensive line, getting the sacks. Yeah, so Cameron Jordan, they signed him to an extension. Was it I think it beginning of last year. Beginning of last year they did that. So good. And like I said, Jameis Winston, another guy that was getting rave reviews in camp. As Drew Brees said he's eager to learn. So good to see that Jameis Winston maybe he'll grow up a little bit and be that quarterback that Tampa Bay thought that they had when they drafted him out of Florida State. I know we had a lot of issues at Florida State, immaturity, but he was 19, 20 years old. I mean, how many of us were mature at that age? Not many. But yes, there's some guys that were standing out. This was Monday's practice, haven't really gotten anything today or Tuesday. Hopefully we'll have some more notes next few days. Saints are moving on. They'll have their first game September 13th against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and No, Braves versus Brady. Braves versus Breeze. Breeze versus Brady. I'll get out in a minute. I'll get it out in a minute. So, all right, guys. So if you're a Saints fan, make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys, and also ring the notification bell. Click all notifications, and I'll talk to you next time.